Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to talk about probably one of my favorite hair care brands to date, which is the Innate Life. I will basically just kind of go over a few of their products I've tried, what I think about them, and so on. As you can see, I do have a lot of their products and I have tried basically everything. I think only the shampoo and conditioner is something I haven't tried yet, but essentially, yeah, we'll just kind of go over what I think. And before we start, I just want to say that this video is not sponsored by them in any way. I have been using their products since February 2021, so that's almost 2 years now. And the first products I bought myself, and I have also been restocking them for a long time myself. And lately they have sent me a few packages, just restocking some of my favorites and whatnot. But it's been over a year that I've just been using them by myself, so my opinion is totally honest. And even if it were sponsored, my opinion would still be honest. But yeah, just thought I'd put that disclaimer out there. Anyway, let's not make the video too long, as I have a tendency to do that. So I'll just get right to it. I'm gonna start with my all-time favorite product, and this is something that I can't ever have my hair care routine without. This is their problematic scalp treatment. I'm just gonna kind of show you the texture of it. During the winter it's kind of thicker. During the summer it's kind of, I guess more on the thinner side, but yeah. It smells amazing, I can't even explain it. It's very herbal. Yeah. When I started my healthy hair care journey, I was having a lot of issues with basically just a very itchy scalp and like red spots everywhere, and just it was just I just couldn't take it anymore. It's one of the biggest reasons I started a healthy hair journey. And I have been diagnosed with psoriasis, but that's been some years ago, so I never double checked or anything, and nothing the doctors ever prescribed worked for me. So I decided to go the natural way, like try something else. And this is the first product I got. I can't remember on whose recommendation I got it. I know it was some hair care influencer on Instagram, but I honestly can't remember. I got their small jar just to start out. Basically, I bought it and then I started using it once to twice a week. And I cannot tell you how much that felt like a miracle, almost. It was instantly, almost like within a few weeks, I stopped having itchiness in between washing my hair. Like I could go longer in between my washes even. And I started noticing new baby hairs as well. And just overall, I can't even tell you, like my scalp was soon without flakes. It was just so healthy. And I do notice if I stop using this for like a few weeks, I can notice right away that my scalp gets worse. I get red spots again, and it gets very itchy and flaky and even inflamed in some parts. So this is something that I honestly, I can't live without. I mean, I could always go with just one of the shampoos that doctors would recommend for psoriasis, for example, but those never really helped me. In fact, sometimes it felt like it made it worse. And then this is just, I think for my whole hair care routine, this is just my favorite product. Immediately after you apply it, it soothes your scalp, and it's just so relaxing. It smells amazing as well. So I do still use this the same amount. I use it once a week to twice a week, basically just whenever I wash my hair. I do leave it on overnight because I always wash my hair in the mornings, but like 3 to 4 hours should always be enough. As for how long this treatment lasts, because I know a lot of people like to know that, this one lasts me about 70 washes. Like this is the big jar. And so depending on if you wash once or twice a week, that could be 6 to 10 months. Usually lasts me very long. You don't need a lot of it, only a little. And if you do look at the price, as in it lasts you 70 washes, it's actually pretty affordable considering. I'm gonna move on to the next product I ever got from them, which is the rose hair elixir. I do also have the beard and hair elixir. These are basically the same. They only came out with this formula this year sometime, I believe. It was in April. The rose hair elixir I also got in February 2021, and it was the first time I ever used an oil on my hair, and it was even the first time I ever heard of using an oil on your hair daily. Like, it didn't really make sense to me. But yeah, I started using this, like 1 to 2 drops on my ends. At that point, that's all my hair care routine was. It was a scalp treatment, their hair mask as well, and then this. Like, that's all my routine was for, I think, at least half a year. And it made such a difference on my hair. I mean, any oil on your ends is amazing, right? But this one, if I compare it to others, I do love the smell. It just smells like roses. And it's quite lightweight. You can use 1 to 2 drops daily. I mean, comparing it to other oils I've had, it's not the most lightweight, but it is still pretty lightweight, as in for fine hair, because it absorbs very well. And overall, it helps a lot with frizz. It adds a lot of shine as well. It's not my favorite. I do have another one that I like a little bit more than this one, but if I could only use this for the rest of my life, it would still be amazing. Although I do have to say, I kind of prefer the beard and hair elixir just like a tiny bit more. The formulas are kind of similar. This one is just something you can use, well, my husband uses it for his beard and hair. He loves it. I've restocked it already. This one's almost empty, but anyway, I like the smell of this, like just slightly more. It's kind of, I don't know, foresty. I do like that, and I also feel it adds a little bit more shine than the rose hair elixir, and it's about just as lightweight. So honestly, I mean, the fact that I can just take this with when we travel, for example, and my husband can use it for his beard and hair, and I can use it for my hair, is pretty amazing. So yeah, I have to say these are both definitely worth the money. As I said, I do have another oil for my ends that I do prefer more than this, but it's also more expensive. So if you're looking for something a bit more affordable, I would definitely recommend one of these two. As for how long they last, I think the big bottle lasts me about 6 to 8 months if I would use it every single day. I had the small bottle once, and I think that one lasted 3 to 4 months, something like that. It really depends on how long your hair is and everything. Next, I'm gonna go with their leave-in conditioner. As you can see, the bottle does not have a label, and it's actually been empty for quite a while. This was also one of the first products I ever tried, and I never restocked it. As much as I love the leave-in conditioner, it was amazing. It was a little bit too heavy for my hair. It was amazing at getting out tangles. Like, honestly, if I would ever have big tangles that were just almost impossible to get out, it's the first thing I would use. Even to other leave-in conditioners I now use, this one is still the best one for detangling. But it wasn't something that I could use every day. And I do like to use a leave-in conditioner every day just to kind of hydrate my hair a little more and help with daily detangling, like all the small tangles and whatnot. So this was a bit heavy for me. And probably someone with I don't know, wavy curly hair, or just maybe a different hair texture, density, whatever, just probably not fine hair, would really benefit or really love this even. I just didn't like it enough to restock it. Like, it's amazing, but I did feel the need to just look for other leave-in conditioners that were more lightweight for my hair type, so that's what I did. Next up is their Neroli hair primer. I will be honest, when I started using this product, I wasn't sure if it was necessary, honestly. I mean, it does, well, for example, it says that it balances your pH level and just basically removes buildup, and I don't know, basically just keeps your hair stronger, more hydrated. And yeah, I will say I was really skeptical of this because I wasn't really, no one really ever talks about a hair primer or why you should use one. So when I started using it, I'm like, okay, we'll see. Maybe it's necessary, maybe it's not. And even after I finished the bottle, like, this one's empty. I'm waiting for my new one to arrive. Even after I finished the bottle, I was kind of like, okay, I need to try doing my routine without this to see if it's necessary. And I was surprised. A lot of the ingredients are protein, but it is water-based. Actually, the first ingredient is neroli floral water. But basically, I would use this after the shower right away. It would be the first thing out of the shower. And basically what it should be doing is restore your pH. And for example, if you have hard water, then you will absolutely need this. I use a shower filter, but even then our water is just really, really hard. And that can cause buildup, it can cause itchiness on your scalp, like honestly just anything. It can cause tangles, it can cause breakage. A lot of things go into that. So this just kind of helps to even further protect your hair from any damage that could happen through that. And sometimes I would use this throughout the week on dry hair if I felt my hair was really dry, or maybe just like, you know, one of those bad hair days. Then I would use this as well, but usually it was just after washing my hair right away. And honestly, I can't tell you, the day I stopped using this, or the wash after that, my hair started getting really tangled. Like I started getting these weird little knots, which I have never ever had. And it was not a coincidence because I have not changed my routine for a while, or at least at that point I hadn't. So just taking out that one product, and like since I've been dealing with those weird tangles, and it's the only product I took out of my routine, or yeah, basically didn't change anything. Not to mention my scalp got slightly worse as well. Like the itchiness got a little worse afterwards. And yeah, that's just not a coincidence for me, honestly. This product is, it's honestly, I think it's just underrated. It should definitely be in your routine because, at least in my case, it really helped me with a lot. I'm gonna try to move a bit more quickly as I don't want the video to get too long. Anyway, this is their herbal hair mask. Absolutely love it. And I know I say that about most, if not all, their products. Not all of them, but this is just, first of all, it smells amazing. It's so relaxing when you put it in your hair. It has, I can't explain it again. It's like a, well, it's like a herbal scent. I don't know. I use this as a pre-poo, as in just applying this to my ends and length, well, probably from here down, on damp hair before washing my hair, as that kind of protects my hair from the shampoo, and just, yeah, it honestly just makes it softer. It's just, this is a hair mask that you don't use in the shower, you use it before because it's oil-based and it has a lot of amazing ingredients. And yeah, honestly, I just know that before I started using this, like I said earlier, this was actually one of the first products I incorporated into my routine when I started with my healthy hair journey. And I was dealing with dry hair, like honestly just so dry, and frizzy, like a lot of frizziness, and my hair is straight, so if straight hair is frizzy, you know you have to do something about it. And so when I started using this, I think it was like a month or something, and I didn't see any frizz anymore, and my hair was really dry even though it was the winter. And I still use this, like I honestly still use it every single wash, and I do use quite a lot of it. I use I think 10 pumps at once, like 5 for one side, 5 for the other, something like that, maybe even a little more, I'm not sure. And it still lasts me very long. I mean, I've been using this since, again, February 2021, and this is my 3rd bottle, I think. I got the small one first, and then later on I got the big one, and then this is, yeah, I barely opened this like 1 or 2 weeks ago, so it lasts a very long time as well. And if you have shorter hair, it'll last you even longer. This next one is their Rosemary scalp treatment. It's also one of their newer products. And in case you're wondering, because I do get a lot of questions about this, what the difference is between these two, this one is more focused on, well, basically a problematic scalp. Anything that would be itchiness and flakes and dandruff and just anything that basically causes you a problematic scalp, right? This one is more focused on hair growth, as it's a rosemary scalp treatment, and it actually contains, I think, rosemary in 2 or 3 different ways. I'm not really sure right now, but This one is more focused on growth. So if you don't really have any issues, you feel like your scalp is pretty healthy, you don't deal with flakes, with anything, then this is pretty great because this will help you with hair loss, with hair growth, even premature graying, I believe, because of some of the ingredients. And yeah, that's basically what the difference is between these two. This one's more for hair growth, hair loss, and then this one's more for any problems you might have with your scalp. As for the product itself, I will say it's one of the heavier hair growth oils I've tried. So if you have an oily scalp, don't use too much of it. Honestly, just use very little, because if you have an oily scalp and you add more oil to it and it's heavy, that'll just cause more oiliness and whatnot, and essentially maybe even more dandruff. But anyway, I don't mind heavy hair growth oils because actually I have a dry scalp, so I prefer them to be heavier, but this is, I think, probably the most heavy one I've tried. So even I used very, very little of it. And as for results, I used it for, I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 months. It was something like that anyway. I will say probably not one of my top ones, but it did have pretty great results. I mean, I've had hair growth oils that did help me maintain my hair growth a bit higher than this one. Don't ever think that a hair growth oil will increase your hair growth rate naturally or just magically, honestly, because it won't. Basically what it can do is just keep your scalp as healthy as possible and make sure that your hair growth is the maximum it can possibly be, whether that be because of your genes or lifestyle or anything. And so a maximum for me is 2 centimeters a month. Again, this depends on what month it is, because your hair will be in a different stage and whatnot. But I just compared the months I used this to the hair growth I had in the same months the other year, like a year back. And it wasn't the maximum, it was slightly lower, but it still had amazing results. So honestly, I think it really depends on your scalp type, on how you use it, how consistent you would be with it, because I didn't use it for a very long time. Honestly, to see better results, I should have used it for 3 to 4 months, right? But I didn't. So I can't really speak for the results. Honestly, the only thing you could do is use the whole bottle and then you'd be able to see if it did give you good results or not. I've seen some reviews and amazing, right? And again, this did have amazing results for me. It just wasn't my top one, so to say. Next up is the Charcoal Detox. This they only released, I think, about a month ago, something like that. And I've used it 3 or 4 times. I'm not even sure. I think it was like 3 times. So far, absolutely love it. I've had other scalp scrubs and this one has a different texture. It's more, it's kind of watery or like gel type even. It's not that much grainy, for example. And the charcoal gives it that kind of dry feeling. I don't know if you know what I mean. And honestly, just the fact that witch hazel water is one of the first ingredients, I think it's the second. Yeah, it's the second ingredient. That already makes it one of my favorite products. Just because witch hazel water for my psoriasis is honestly just one of the best ingredients I've found so far, because it calms it right away and it's so amazing even throughout the week. And as for how it leaves my scalp, I can't even explain. It's, first of all, the peppermint, it just leaves your scalp really, well, you know, the cooling feeling you get when you have peppermint. So it just leaves it so fresh. And then you can really feel that it cleaned your scalp, as in like it removed any buildup or dead skin and whatnot. Like it leaves your scalp feeling clean, but not dry. With a lot of scalp scrubs I've tried, it just kind of leaves this kind of dry feeling. And then this one, it's interesting because my scalp feels clean, but it still feels hydrated. I don't even really know how to explain it. But yeah, I can't really give a full review on it because I haven't used it for that long, right? but so far I can't compare it to other scalp scrubs I've had, and I love that it doesn't have the grainy texture because I feel like that's a little less harsh on my scalp. And since my scalp is already on the dry side, and because of my psoriasis even, just always the most gentle way is the best way for me. So definitely recommend, although I will probably just post a full review on this in like a few months or so on my Instagram page. Next up is their Neroli body oil. So this is not hair care related, and I know, but this, as all of their products so far, this is amazing. Especially during the winter, I get like dry skin here under my glasses, or where my glasses sit basically, and then my face gets so dry after washing my hair, or even just my legs, they get so dry. And this is pretty amazing. I only need to use this once to twice a week, and my skin is just hydrated. Like I even have to use less lotion because of this. First off, I do love the smell. Honestly, if I had a perfume with neroli, I'd probably love it. But anyway, yeah, I love the fragrance. I love it for my dry skin. I've never even heard of a body oil until they released this, so I was really curious to try it. And if you have oily skin, probably not for you, but if you have dry skin like me, especially now during winter, I can't tell you how annoying it is to have dry skin, and then this just comes in here and it's honestly saved my skin. Alright, we're gonna move on to hair tools. So they haven't released a lot. Lately they've been releasing a few. So I have the scalp massager, I have their detangler, I have the Derma roller, and I think they released brushes recently, so I'm really excited to try those out as well, but I don't have them. So first off, the scalp massager. This is the one product that I just couldn't get behind, honestly, because you know what, it's a great concept, it's amazing. These are pretty flexible. I love that it's made from wheat straw, but the tips are just a little too harsh. Like honestly, if I just apply it or add it to my scalp, the tips are somehow just a little too pointy, I think, and I do have a sensitive scalp. And I don't know, maybe it's also the position of the tips. I'm not really sure, but something just feels different from my other scalp massagers. Just to kind of compare it, like as you can see, this one, it's not as pointy. Like these are really pointy. And then this one's kind of rounded, and it's a bit more flexible as well, or actually a lot more flexible than this one. And this one I absolutely love, it's amazing. But this one's just, you know, as much as I love the concept, it didn't work for me. Maybe if my scalp weren't as sensitive, I might be able to like it more. So yeah, my husband's using it, but I just couldn't. Like honestly, I was surprised that I did not like one of their products for once. But yeah, I would say maybe if your scalp isn't sensitive, it might be worth a try, but it wasn't for me. On the other hand, this detangler, we need to talk about this. I've been using a brush of this exact style since August this year, and it was a plastic one. And it was amazing because until then I've only ever detangled my hair using a wide tooth comb, and it did still cause breakage. Like as gentle as that was, honestly a wooden tooth comb gives my hair breakage because I have really fine hair, so I have to be as gentle as possible. And so there was this girl on Instagram, she had been talking about how she switched from a wooden comb to a tangle teaser, and this is no tangle teaser, right? But it just really made me realize, okay, maybe I need to try this out, right? See how it works. So I tried a brush from a similar brand. It wasn't tangle teaser, but I decided I would just give it a try, give a brush like that a try, see what happened. And when I tell you, the first time I used it, I was shocked. I can't even, like I would brush my hair and there would be no little small hairs in there, which meant there was no breakage, obviously. And then just the way it detangles, it's so easy. You can have a tangle and it just like glides right through. And so, again, I had been using a brush like that since August and it was amazing. But now that winter started, you can probably already guess, plastic, that creates a lot of static in your hair. And it did for me, and I hate static. Also, last winter I did not have any issues with static because I was completely just using wooden brushes and wooden combs. So when I saw this, you don't know how excited I was, because it's the same concept, the same exact brush, the same everything, but it's not made from plastic. It's made from wheat straw, which first of all is just amazing. But secondly, I was hoping that this would mean that it would do the same as my other detangling brush, but without creating all the static. And it did. Honestly, this is, if I ever go traveling, I don't even mind if I leave my wooden brushes at home. As much as I love them, they're amazing for everyday use and to brush down my oils and whatnot. This is the one I would take with, because it's simply just amazing, especially for fine hair. I can't say for thick hair, probably not, but for like just thin, fine hair like mine, you need this. You just, if it would be the first thing for you to buy in your hair care journey, I would definitely recommend this. Just absolutely worth it. One thing I did notice is that I wouldn't recommend you to use it on wet or damp hair, because the bristles are really flexible. But again, since they're not plastic, they do have a tendency to kind of just bend and then not really bend back. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe you can see a few here at the very first row, like they're just kind of bent. And it's because I did use it on wet hair and I had kind of a lot of tangles, and I realized right away, okay, this is maybe not made for that. But for detangling dry hair, it would never happen. I've since then only used it on dry hair, and nothing similar has happened. So maybe just don't use it on wet or damp hair. I mean, damp hair, if it's like only like almost dry, then it should probably work, because I do that actually. But wet hair, just like for example in the shower for your hair masks or conditioner, probably not. I don't think it's strong enough for that. But other than that, for daily detangling, you should buy this. It's amazing. And finally, we're at the last product. I do realize it's quite a lot, a little bit more than I thought. But since this is basically every product in their collection except for their shampoo and conditioner, you'll probably get a good idea about what you should buy. But anyway, this is the last one. This is their Derma roller. This thing, I will say, if you're gonna use a Derma roller, do research it a lot before using it, and do use it correctly. Even I may not be using it correctly, but still just be careful when using it, because it can go wrong, especially if your scalp is sensitive or you have any scalp issues. Like for example, I do have psoriasis. I would never ever use it on the spots that I know that I have the psoriasis. So just do be careful with it. And honestly, if you don't think you need it, then just this isn't a product that you have to have. It's something that can help you out if you're really struggling. And I've been using it for quite a long time now, actually. And the reason I got it is because I'm gonna see if I can show you. My temples are just slightly, I mean, they're a lot better now, but started this year I was losing a lot of hair there because of stress, obviously. And I knew it was happening, and I knew it was stress. So I was trying to figure out, not really, well, how to prevent it, but also how to fix it, because I wasn't able to prevent it in time. I honestly didn't notice. And as you can see, like there's a lot of baby hair now. I mean, my baby hair is blonde, so you probably can't see, but anyway. That's just the main reason I got it. It was really terrible, and I do have processed pictures on my Instagram. And I had tried a lot for regrowing it. I've tried a lot of products, and I did get results with certain products, but it was just a long process, and I still felt like there was probably more that I could do. So I decided to try a derma roller. I'm gonna kind of show you what it looks like. This one has 0.5 millimeter needles. And while there's research that says the needles have to be 1.5 or 1 to even make a difference, this is what I felt safe with, doing it at home anyway. Yeah, this is kind of a close-up maybe. The first few times, you will feel like a tingling feeling, like at even hours after the treatment. But then after a while you do get used to it, and then you barely feel anything anymore. But basically when you do use it on your scalp, you have to roll very gently, and like you should not feel any discomfort at all. And also just roll in small sections. I've seen people that like just roll in big sections, and it's kind of painful. But yeah, just like small sections at a time. For example, if it's the roller, you just small sections, vertical, horizontal. And you have to make sure to clean it with alcohol before and after, and once a week clean it with water and soap. And even all of that, you know what, I'm no expert. I could still be doing it wrong, but I do know I got results. Not sure if you'll be able to see, but my hairline, for example, I've only ever used it on my hairline, like right here, and my middle part, sometimes these side parts, just because I felt there may be a little thinning, but I would never use it at the back of my scalp or anywhere where I can't see what I'm doing. So recommendable, I would just recommend this part here, and if you do absolutely need it, maybe here. But anyway, I do have, let's see, I don't know if this is going to be visible, but I have so many just baby hairs, and like especially here at this part, this is basically grown back. And that was kind of, it was like the last resort I had. It was kind of like the last push that I feel like helped me. So I tried a lot of treatments, like I said, and then when I started derma rolling, the results were just like, wow, just like really fast. I think within 2 to 3 months, this was all just basically grown back. And I'm honestly not sure if I would have been able to do that without the derma roller. Like it was just, I think it was exactly what I needed. And you know, if you try treatments and you feel like they're working, then go ahead with that. But I was already trying so many treatments. I mean, obviously not many treatments at once, but I was like one treatment 3 months and it wouldn't do much, and then do another one. So I was kind of a little desperate already. And so I decided to try this, and it was amazing. It helped me so much. And I will be replacing mine. You have to replace it every few months for sure. So I'm replacing mine right now, and I will probably be continuing to use it just to always kind of help with my hairline and these spots especially. I do not want to go through that again. So yeah, this is something that I wouldn't recommend to do if you don't feel safe about it, or you don't feel sure about it. Because honestly, you know what, you could even go to a doctor and probably ask them about a similar treatment, and they might be able to give you an option. Maybe not a doctor, but a trichologist, for example. So it's definitely an option. You can do it at home. I felt confident enough to do it, but even I was kind of scared. So I started out with only once a week, and then after a while, after I got used to it, I did twice a week just to get results. And I'm still doing twice a week. Once I feel like I only need to maintain the results, then I'll probably go back to once a week. And I have been wanting to try a Derma roller with like 1mm or 1.5mm needles yet. And so far there's only one good one I've found. But I haven't bought it yet. It's kind of expensive. So for the time being, I'll stick to this one, which is amazing and great if you want to start out. So absolutely recommend if you're dealing with any kind of, I don't know, receding hairline or just struggling regrowing your hair back. But again, only use it on spots where you can see what you're doing. And that's it. I mean, I know I'm saying that's it when it was actually a lot. But yeah, this is honestly, they are one of my favorite brands. First off, they're just so transparent about all of the ingredients they use. It's all natural, which just makes it even better, because I do prefer that. And yeah, honestly, if you haven't tried out anything from them and you haven't been sure, I hope some of my reviews probably convinced you. I don't know, because it's worth it, especially some products that I couldn't imagine my hair care routine without them. So yeah, absolutely recommend. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or even suggestions on videos you would like to see, just go ahead, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more of my content. I'll see you next time.